said the University of Bologna is strongly committed to research, and I would say we are today strongly committed to building bridges. Bridges between public research done in public institutions, research done with public money, and the research needed by a system of industries and enterprises. So when I say we are committed to building bridges, it's because there is no more time. Time is over. So we need to link back rapidly, very quickly, now, better yesterday, the transfer of what we know how to do research, the way we know to do research in our institutions, in our department, our researchers into the competition in the global system of economy. This aspect is very, very strong when you address the point, tackle the point of the key enabling technologies, the key ETs, because there is an extra item to consider, and this is the speed of change. What do I teach? How do I teach to students? What do I teach them? Since I know that I don't know what they will need to know in 5 years' time from now. So this is a big challenge for the educators, and the interaction with the world of companies and business and entrepreneurs and politicians is extremely important, because now we have to think in terms of how to train them rather than what to teach them.
It is alarming that several member states have reduced their R&D investments. Alarming because evidence shows that those who invest more in R&D see dividends in the shape of better recovery from the crisis. So we need to invest even more in research and development, and by working with industry, we need to take the results further than we have done so far. Crucially, we need to invest much more in demonstration activities and other activities closer to the market than before to cover the entire value chain. And this will help us also to bridge the so-called valley of death between technological capacity on the one hand and manufacturing capacity and the markets on the other. And this is exactly what we in the Commission are doing. We need new cooperation models, just like member states and regions need to work with the European Union. Industry also must force their efforts to work closer with us, and together we can have then the chance to set common agendas for innovation. And I'm glad to see that we have already made quite some progress on this. A large part of the industrial priority of Horizon 2020, again about 6 billion euros, is dedicated to the key enabling technologies, making it the biggest single support instrument in Europe for these technologies. The Commission has asked the high-level group to look into the challenges in key enabling technologies, and many of its recommendations are reflected in the current activities included in the first work program of Horizon 2020. We are looking at how we can maximize the impact of KATs on the value chains, going beyond science and technology, and supporting activities closer to the applications and the market.
In Italy, we have received a clear political direction to strengthen these aspects, and some 4 years ago, more or less, we have transformed our ministry at the center, putting together 3 different functions, which is supporting our companies abroad, which is legitimate objective, of course, cultural relation, but then creating a 3rd pillar, which is exactly STI, so facilitating and supporting the world of research, the university, in improving the relation with the rest of the world. We have worked a lot with other parts of the Italian public administration, for example, in new legislation about startup. You said about investment and Italy is lagging behind in attracting the investment from abroad. This is very well known. This is certainly one of the big political issues that we have. You know also that successive governments in the last couple of years have introduced some new legislation, also with some relation with the, for facilitating, for example, people coming here to Italy in order to create new business. Many things have been done at the level of legislation. Much more has to be done at the level of implementation, and then of course, it depends on several other considerations, not only the new facilitation created by the government, but the overall economic climate, of course.
I think this is the key point, because we speak often of innovation, but we don't really realize that everything is changing around us. Is changing the way of how to produce. And Andrea Prontemoli was very clear. You don't just produce as you were doing in the past. Now the cost of the production is just a very small part of the production of the design. And that means that all the basis of the cost is knowledge. And that makes a big issue, a big challenge also for university and public research centers, because now the key issue is production of knowledge, because we have to learn how this knowledge produced can be applied in order to make goods. Keywords that came out this afternoon, and I think are the basis of this new era. One for sure is cooperation. But cooperation means that I don't work with the company in the sense that the company just ask me something and I solve the problem, but I design the research together. I'm able to really to develop something together. Other point is time. Time is the key issue. We cannot think that we have time. We don't have time. In the moment that we are speaking, new technologies are coming, new companies are closing, new companies are opening, and that's the point. We should put time as an important variable in any kind of policy that we develop. The last point is knowledge. Knowledge should become know-how. Let's work for pushing on the knowledge, but also put attention how this knowledge can be used as soon as possible.
We tried just to not invent, to reinvent the Renaissance 7 years ago, and today we are here just thinking about it's possible or not possible. Well, you know in our country how it's difficult to think and to transform knowledge into know-how. That's the point. But I am quite convinced that our difficulties are linked to the culture. The economical decline certainly has been driven by our poor culture. In the last 20 years, we have a really decline in culture, and that's, I think, is the reason why we are still today thinking about the future without knowing what happened. Because we pretended to think about the future without knowing what in reality has been changed. Without a deep analysis of what is changed and what is just in progress in terms of changes, we are not able to design anything. I hope that after 2 days and maybe somebody can just able to write some clear conclusion in which we suggest maybe some good direction.